have another question in here, and we hear this a lot. Is a metal roof noisy when it rains? Let's see how you answer that one.
This day and age, it's actually not. Most of the people that is of a concern to them think back to the years of spending their childhood at their grandparents' house, which was usually a sheet metal roof with nothing under it. It was metal put right on the roofing joist or the rafters, and there's nothing under it. Today, you have most customers opt to leave the shingles on the roof and have the metal put directly over the top of that. That using the layering like that and your attic having insulation in and of itself will deaden that sound. It will be no more noisy than the asphalt roof that was there before we got there.
Well, yeah, let's expand on that a little bit. So you're talking about maybe like the turn of the century type of construction.
Correct. Back to your grandmother's house back in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
And back then they didn't have insulation.
Nope.
They didn't have roof decking. They would basically have the trusses, and they put like maybe strapping or some kind of a cross.
Just all open.
Yep, open, and then the metal roofing would go over there, the tin roof, right?
Yes.
And
it was very loud.
Yeah, and it would sound like a casino. Ding,
Yes.
ding, 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 ding. Today, modern construction, we're using insulation in the attic, which that's a noise deadening. We're using plywood sheathing, which is the deck on the roof. With that, using, when they put those asphalt, I call it the temporary roofing shingles. Mm-hmm. When they're putting those temporary shingles on there, they're using a felt paper, the asphalt, gasoline siding roof, and with all of that together, we don't really hear a lot of noise when it rains, right?
That's correct to say. Using the layering principle of the metal over the shingles, over the felt paper, over the roof decking, and then with a foot thick layer of insulation in the attic, it's actually very sound deadening, if you will.
So when it rains now, after you install a Gator Metal Roofing and an energy efficient metal roofing, you're virtually not going to hear any sound difference.
You won't notice any more sound than you noticed before that metal roof went on.
Will you notice anything with your energy bill?
Actually, yes. That's one of the more common questions we get with the advent of smart paint technology on the metal roofing now. The majority of customers will recognize at least a 40% reduction in energy consumption. We had a customer recently that had a very large home that we put a metal roof on. She called in within a week of the installation to let us know that she normally kept her thermostat at 71 to keep her house cool, and has since had to bump it up to 75 because she said it was getting too cold in there.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, what a great result that is.
A 4-degree difference in your thermostat makes a big difference.
By any chance, do you remember what color metal roof that was?
Hers was bright red.
It was bright red. So is it safe to say that any color is still going to be energy efficient?
It's pretty much the same across the entire color spectrum. You'll realize at least a 40% energy consumption reduction, and that's based on a experiment that was done by the Oak Ridge National Laboratory.
Great. So if I install the black metal roof on my home, I'm going to get basically the same savings reduction as a white metal roof or a red one.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's great. So again, to conclude that question, a metal roof is not going to be any different when it comes to the sound factor when it rains or anything like that.
Nope.
So a lot of people have that concern. Okay, if I put a metal roof on, is it going to be noisy? Or I like this one better. I hear this a lot. I want to get a metal roof so I can sleep better at night and I'll be able to hear the rain. That would be great if we could hear it, but that's not the case.
Again, they're thinking back to when they were 8 years old at their grandmother's house, and they
ding,
loved
ding,
the sound.
Yeah, and it did sound kind of cool.
That's not the case nowadays.
Yeah. Well, nowadays metal roofing, it's a high performance roofing material it's energy efficient. It protects your home from the ground up against natural catastrophes like lightning and stuff like that.